What's up, y'all? Daniel here again. And today I want to talk to you about kind of the ins and outs of doing ministry. So many of us have been in ministry for a while now, and we pick up little tools of the trade as we go along. And I don't think there's any replacement for a good, solid foundation in Scripture, and building those relationships with teens, like that needs to be first and foremost. But let's be honest, there's a lot of day in and day out kind of stuff that has to go on. We live in a digital world now. Everybody's online. All of our teenagers are on Instagram. Some of them might still be on Facebook. At least their parents are probably on Facebook. So you've got emails, you've got Instagram posts, you've got Facebook posts, you've got videos to do, you've got all of these things that you're trying to accomplish to reach the digital natives that we're trying to minister to today. So this week and in the coming weeks, I'm going to put together a list of apps that have been incredibly helpful to me. This is not an exhaustive list by any means, and you may have your own that you go to on a daily basis, weekly basis. I thought maybe we could just share the resources that we've picked up along the way. So today, I'm going to give you 5 iOS apps that have been an absolute lifesaver for me, that have simplified my life, that have really actually had a positive impact in streamlining everything else that I do in relation to youth ministry. So today, we're going to look at 5, and these are in no particular order, but these are 5 apps that I wanted to share with you, and they are all iOS apps. I'm an Apple guy, I have an iPad, an iPhone, and I use a MacBook Pro, so these are all kind of integrated with each other, but there's probably Android and Windows counterparts to them. So for the iOS ones, I'm going to link down in the description below. So if you find some of these helpful that you don't have already, just click the link below and you can download and get started with some of these apps today. The first one I want to mention is an app called If This Then That. Or if you search, it might be the word if, IFTTT. If This Then That is such a time saver. It is an amazing app that I was turned on to a few years ago, and I use it all the time. Well, I should say I set it up once, and then it just does the work for me. That's the kind of app that this is. What it does, it links all your social accounts and will have these little, what they call applets and services that they do. So, for instance, I have it set up when I post to Instagram, then it also posts to Twitter as a native photo. Like you might share your Instagram photos to Twitter, but then it has that Instagram link, and so you actually have to go click the link in order to see the picture if you do it that way. If This Then That takes all the guesswork out of it. I post to Instagram, it automatically posts the actual picture to my Twitter account. And there's lots of things like this. You can incorporate your blog if you have a blog. You can incorporate your YouTube channel if you're uploading YouTube videos. It has so many different services and options available. Everything from Facebook pages to Twitter accounts to Instagram to Pinterest to YouTube, Blogger, WordPress, Tumblr, it's all there. If you are not using If This Then That, you are working too hard. This lets you work smarter, not harder, which is a true champion of an app, in my opinion. So you can go through on the web browser. I would suggest setting your account up through a web browser. You can just have more options available to you. But then you can also download the app to your devices so that you can make adjustments on the go if you need. So I highly, highly, highly recommend If This Then That, especially if you're using different social platforms. Another one of my go-to apps that I use all the time that I think most of us are probably using, but if not, you've got to jump on the bandwagon. It's called Remind. You've probably heard of it before. It's a free group texting application that is intended for teachers and especially like nonprofits. So our church uses it as a whole so that our administrative assistant can like send out a message to everybody who signed up through the church. So if there's a prayer request or a need or an announcement or something, that everybody can get that. And so I have one for our youth group that I use all the time. Just reminders about class, what's coming up in class, what details about trips we might need to have that I can just put it into a quick little text message, just send it out, and everybody receives it. You can even schedule messages, which is awesome. So if you have a reminder that you know needs to go out on Wednesday, you can set it up on Monday, and you can pick the time and the date and everything. So if you don't want to text the kids while school's in, but you're only at the office during their school hours, you can schedule the message to be sent right after their school bell rings and they get out of class, so that they're going to their cars or the buses and they get the text message and hey, cool. So they know what's happening that night or coming up in the week. It is a lifesaver. It has simplified things so much for me. So you can go access it through the web browser, or you can have the app downloaded on your phone. And even if kids don't have a cell phone of their own, but if they have a mobile device like an iPod Touch maybe, they can even download the app themselves and have an account that way, so they can still receive the messages even if they don't receive text messages. So there's a lot of things you can do with this, a lot of great features built into this absolutely free service. I cannot recommend it highly enough. That's Remind. The third app I want to talk about today is called Unsplash. Now, again, this is one that's pretty popular out there and has a lot of uses other than just youth ministry. But if you're like me in ministry, you're all the time doing a Google image search to do little graphics, to promote events, or to put Bible verses with, and that's okay. I don't have much of an issue doing that, but there are some legal restrictions on what you can use and how you can use it. What Unsplash is, it's a community of photographers who take really super high quality photographs and upload them to Unsplash, and you can use them royalty free, completely free of charge. They do ask that you give some credit if you're, especially if you're making a profit off of what they are providing. You know, maybe dish out a little credit to the photographer and that, you know, acknowledge that you got this from Unsplash. But just for promotional materials, or for like worship backgrounds or background images when I'm putting together keynote presentations, Unsplash has been amazing. So you can download the high quality, high resolution pictures to your phone, to your iPad, or to your laptop, and edit them, put graphics over them, put text over it, and then upload it to Instagram or to share with your group. And it's completely free, and all you have to do, you can search like Bibles, or search friends, or search joy, happiness, all these different things in the search box, and it lists all these different pictures that you can have. 100% royalty free, able to be used any way that you want. For number 4, what I want to talk to you about is Adobe Scan. Now this is like, why? Why do I need a scanner app? Trust me, if you're anything like me, keeping up with receipts on youth trips is a headache. It is a pain in the butt to try to keep up with all the receipts. Like, you're buying lunch, you're buying this other kid's lunch, you're putting gas in the van, you're paying for tickets, you're doing all these different things while you're out and about, and you know, you shove the receipts in your pocket or in your bag, but inevitably you lose something along the way. Adobe Scan, I use it primarily for receipt purposes. Our church treasurer is always all the time hounding me to get my receipts turned in, get my receipts turned in, and I have been the worst about it. But since I've downloaded Adobe Scan, all I have to do when I get the receipt, put it on the table, get out Adobe Scan, it recognizes the document and then saves it as a PDF. And that then saves to my iCloud files, and so I can access it on any of my devices, on my iPad, on my Mac, on my phone, and then I can just send that as an email to my treasurer. So he gets the emailed receipts, I can take the picture, I can crumple it up and throw it away. This is simpler than using your Photos app or anything like that, because it saves it as a PDF instead of having to like take an actual picture and take up more space on your phone. This saves it as a PDF and it saves it to the cloud automatically. It could not be more simple. I highly recommend Adobe Scan for keeping track of receipts and other documents that you might need on the go. The last app I wanted to mention is called iEXIT. So you're on the youth trip, people are getting hungry, or somebody's like, I have to pee. What do? Well, you might have an exit in mind that you want to stop at, but you might not be there, or maybe you get past that and nobody's hungry and nobody wants to stop to eat lunch just yet. What do you do? So there's this app called iEXIT that can find your location on the interstate or the highway where you're traveling, and it will show you all the exits coming up and all the services that are at that exit, from gas stations to restaurants. It'll show you where the rest stops are coming up if you don't want to stop at a gas station. It can be an absolute game changer for those long youth trips so that you can stop with confidence knowing, hey, this is probably the best place to stop within the next 30 minutes. Because so many times it's happened to me where I'll pull off and it's like a really scary kind of shady gas station. And then like 10 miles down the road or less, there's this huge rest stop, truck stop or something with really nice amenities. And I'm like, I wish we would have just waited and stopped there. iEXIT, again, takes the guesswork out of it. It shows you exactly what's coming up. It shows you how far away it is and what services there are so that you can make those stops, whether they're planned or kind of spontaneous, having a stop, that you can make those stops with confidence. So I highly recommend iEXIT. Maybe have your navigator, whoever's riding shotgun, actually pull it up maybe on their phone, especially if you're using your phone for GPS purposes. Have them pull it up on their phone and they can guide you to what the best exit coming up would be. So I highly recommend iEXIT. So these have been 5 mobile apps that I use on a regular basis, and I know you probably have yours. So if you have some that I didn't mention, leave them in the comments below, and I'll be putting out a few more videos like this because there are some really super helpful resources that I want to share with you that have simplified my life, and I hope they can simplify yours as well. Because when we do youth ministry, anything that can take the guesswork out of things and simplify our workflow, that means it's that much more time we can spend with the kids or in the Word actually doing ministry. So thanks for watching this video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with other youth ministers, and I'll see you next time.